Hi guys, it is EanSayBoo, and today we are going to be talking about Ted Bundy. Hate that guy, I don't like the sound of that name, and I hope you guys are having a good, wonderful, and blessed day or night. I don't blame you if you were watching this at night. I would too if I were you, because I like to scare the living crap out of myself. So, let's get started. Ted Bundy is known as one of the most notorious serial killer in American history. He was born in 1946. He appeared to be a normal, intelligent, and friendly young man. Bullcrap. He studied law, worked in politics, and was even described by people as charismatic. However, behind all of this ray of sunshine was a deeply disturbing person who committed a series of violent crimes during the 1970s. Ted Bundy is believed to have killed at least 30 women between 1974 and 1978, although the actual number may be higher. His victims were young women, mainly college students, which almost all of his victims shared one main feature, that being brunette-haired, parted in the middle, which is suggested that he was targeting a specific type. Ted Bundy would approach women in public areas such as university campuses, shopping centers, and parks. He would pretend to be injured or ask for help carrying books or something to his car. Once they agreed to help, he would lure them into his car where he would bludgeon them unconscious, then put handcuffs on them. I cannot imagine how these women are feeling. I just cannot comprehend the atrocity that happened to them. But before driving them to a remote location to be SA'd and killed, he did all of this disgusting act across 5 states in the United States of America, which is Washington, not Washington, D.C., to clarify. He also did it in other states such as Oregon, Utah, Colorado, for some reason, Florida. But after he murdered his victim, he committed necrophilia, which means somebody who has an attraction to dead bodies. That sounds like something needs to be evaluated, in my opinion. But I think that is evaluated in today's time. But he would revisit the bodies, do that again and again until the body was fully decomposed or destroyed by wild animals. I'm sorry, but that's literally just disgusting. That's not human behavior, let alone even human. That's basically a loss of humanity in that at that point. Ted Bundy committed crimes across several states, including Washington, Oregon, Utah, Colorado, and Florida. His movement made it difficult for law enforcement to retrace and connect the cases. He was arrested in 1975 but escaped custody twice, which allowed him to continue harming others. His final attack took place in Florida, where he entered a college sorority house and assaulted multiple students. Eventually captured again, Ted Bundy chose to represent himself in court, which drew massive media as the trial was one of the first to be nationally televised. And his unusual behavior in court shocked the country, despite his effort to so-called outsmart the jury. He was found guilty and sentenced to death. He spent almost a decade on death row before being executed by the electric chair in 1989. Personally, after doing the research of this thing that's just so heartbreaking, he should have been electrocuted the day after court. That's my opinion. And that's not an opinion, actually. That's a fact. He should have. Ted Bundy's case changed how the public viewed serial offenders. He didn't match the typical stereotypical image of a criminal, which made his story 100% even more unsettling. He was calm, educated, and persuasive. Those are traits that made it harder for people to believe what he was capable of. His case sparked national conversation about psychological profiling, victim safety, and the darker side of human nature. I also want to add that to those who made fan fictions of Ted Bundy, you are coming with me to the seclusion room, but you got it 3 levels more crazier than me, because that's just absolutely gross, disgusting, and probably illegal. Ted Bundy's committed his crime mainly out of a deep need for control, power, and domination, driven by a complex mix of psychological issues. He lacked empathy and showed signs of antisocial personality disorder, which is no excuse for what he did. Many experts believe his actions were created from a desire to fulfill his violent fantasies, particularly against women who looks like someone from his past, who he may have felt rejected by. But either way, I want to throw up.